This is where all of the black girl gamer stuff, I think, really started. Because in the aftermath of the Kotaku hit piece, in the aftermath of Sweet Baby Inc. starting a harassment campaign against Kabrutus to try to take down his Steam group that completely backfired on them, black girl gamers decided they wanted a part of the victimhood as well, put out this statement and got absolutely destroyed for it. The amount of harassment we've had recently due to this Gamergate 2 is not surprising. Gamers that thought the industry revolved around them and their comforts are now realizing it doesn't. Yeah, it's weird. I can't believe that gamers would imagine that the game industry should revolve around the customers, the audience, them, the people that are actually buying and playing these games. What a crazy thought. The audacity of gamers to think that. Whereas these people probably feel like the entire industry should revolve around them. Fat, black, gay activists. Right? Yep. That's who you think that the industry and your comforts should literally revolve around. That's the entire point of your fucking group. Anyway, we've had emails, comments, and threats, but you know what? We're not going anywhere. They got fucking destroyed. Look at this. 1.2 thousand comments to 600 likes. Got ratioed by a lot of different people in the replies. But that led to an article getting published right here. Forspoken consultant Black Girl Gamers appears to discriminate in their hiring practices while claiming they're being harassed. Now, we've used that Park Place before. We've read John F. Trent articles for a long time. I wanted to do my due diligence, Jeremy. I wanted to make sure, hey, maybe it didn't say appears to discriminate. Maybe the headline was something like crazier or more wild when it originally got published and they tried some sneaky shit. Not that I don't trust them or anything, but I was just, let me check. Well, I checked the very first archive that was taken a day after this happened. The article has not changed.
Not changed at all.
There's no change to the headlines, no change any of the shit in there. It's the same fucking article. And it's all about this specific tweet. Right, appears to discriminate when they said something like this. Looking for black women content creators that make D&D content for some potential brand work. Hit us up. Now, Jeremy, what would happen if you tweeted out, you went to the Geeks and Gamers Twitter account, which you never tweet from, that's run by somebody else. But imagine you went there, you log in, and you say, hey, we're looking for white male writers for the website. Hit us up.
Yep.
What do you think?
Oh my goodness. It would be a ratio beyond belief. We would be canceled. We would be kicked off platforms. It would be absolutely horrific. It would be career suicide for Geeks and Gamers if I did something like that.
Yeah. And if you decided to, and if you push that, again, this is for black women content creators to make Dungeons and Dragons content for some potential brand work. Who knows exactly what that's for? They are not just a consultancy agency. They also do some content. They also almost are like a talent agency in ways for black female gamers. So who knows? Who knows exactly the specifics? So that's why it says it appears that they're discriminating in this entire thing. Because guess what? You can't do that. You can't put out a call for just one type of person to come work for you. That is not okay. It's a violation of the Civil Rights Act if those actually are your hiring practices. That has all led to this. They are saying that they are suing thatparkplace.com about the allegations of discriminatory hiring practices on black girl gamers. You guys went over this last night with both Valiant Renegade and John Trent. What was your takeaway from that conversation, Jeremy?
As they said last night, at the time of the stream, they have not been contacted directly by any legal representation from Black Girl Gamers. And I don't think that that's changed from last night to today.
Yeah. And to be fair, it has been less than 24 hours since this tweet. So
yes, ultimately what this all comes back to is trying to get people intimidated. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to intimidate people from continuing to criticize them because, as Ryan said earlier, this is all about them being ratioed and getting a ton of backlash. So they're trying to minimize that by intimidating people like, hey, you better stop talking about it, so we're going to sue you. That's what they are trying to do, and it's laughable, and there's legal mindset right there.
Yeah. You know what the funny part is? I was originally planning on making a video about this and I never got to it. And by the time I got some time. It was like a week later and I was like, fuck it. Not even going to talk about it. Now you just gave me an excuse to fucking talk about you.
Yep.
Congratulations. Yeah. So by trying to minimize it, again, trying to bury this shit, you have done harm to yourself once again. And I think the funniest part about this, which I don't know if you guys talked about at all last night, but because I was going through their Twitter to find some shit. And after this was made on February 19th. Looking for black women content creators to make up D&D content. Please reach out, blah, blah, blah. About a month later, Looking for content creators that make Dungeons and Dragons content for some potential brand work. Hit us up. FYI, this is for content creators of all backgrounds. All right. So someone replies, why? Couldn't you find any black D&D players? So now you're having to ask for help. You know, it's bad when you have to state you're looking for people who aren't just black. And that's the thing. Like, I'm fully convinced that they could not find anybody that replied to them. They couldn't find any black women who are invested enough in Dungeons and Dragons, or a black female Dungeons and Dragons content creator. So they actually had to ask for other people.
Yes.
And they claim, again, I'm not going to go through this entire thing, but they claim that they are very diverse and that they hire people of all backgrounds and blah, blah, blah. Right. And they say it's easily findable. You might do that, right? You might have done work with, partnering with other people or something for some big events. But when it comes to like your specific thing, it's tough to make that argument. When you look at their website, like it's called Black Girl Gamers, right? It's about black women. It's about making black women safe. It's about empowering black women in gaming. When you look at their FAQs, you can't even join their community unless you're a woman. Doesn't say anything about if you're white. But like everything, there's not a single fucking white person to be found in all of this shit. So the idea that it's easily findable, that you're not just involved with black or minority voices, is kind of a reach.
Yes.
100% minority operated. 100% minority operated. What does that mean? Does that mean that I don't know, just the people who are officially employed with you are all minorities? Is that what that means? Because that would imply there's some discrimination going on. This is why when you're just speculating based off their tweets and their actions, I feel like it's going to be really tough for anybody to award damages for something like this.
I don't think that they have a serious bone in their body about trying to sue anyone. I think this is all an intimidation tactic, because this is what happens. It's the victim mentality. You go out there and you make horrible accusations towards people, or generalize gamers, or generalize people, and then you get a lot of backlash for it. And every single time it's to play the victim. And that's what they're doing right now. So I do not think that this goes anywhere. This is laughable. And what you have done now is you have made a already bad situation for yourself significantly worse, because now the amount of videos that are going to be made about this, now the amount of people that are going to be talking about this and tweeting about this is going to be even bigger now. It's going to be absolutely insane, and they deserve all of it. I think that, and if we saw Cabrutus, he tweeted out, about this, and I retweeted him, and I mean, Cabrutus is on top of all this stuff, and it's great to see what he's doing. But his tweet specifically, if I can find it, is right here. What is happening right now with Black Girl Gamers does not scare me nor my team, and we will continue on the road we have traced with Sweet Baby Inc., soon to be DEI detected. So it's not just Sweet Baby Inc. detected, it's DEI detected. And it says, you attack one of us, you get to deal with all of us. And that right there is kind of the whole theme to this whole situation, is that if all of the nerds and the geeks and the gamers stand together, and that's what's happening right now, feels like the activists have finally ran into the wrong group of people. They've ruined Marvel, they've ruined Star Wars, they've ruined so many things, ruined comics, and for a while they've been in the gaming industry too. But they finally have overstepped, and it seems like gamers are like, we're not going to put up with this shit, and people are coming together, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it all started when they tried to false flag somebody, right? They started a harassment campaign. Sweet Baby Inc. did it against somebody who, and it would be one thing if they were running some kind of ops or whatever. It was a list about letting people know what game Sweet Baby Inc. worked on. The same thing that's like available on their website. Yeah, it's exactly the same as the people who get upset when libs of TikTok simply take something that you put on Twitter and says, hey, look at what, or you put on TikTok, says, hey, look at what these freaks are putting out.
Yep.
How dare you do this? How dare I show you what they're putting out publicly anyway?
Yep.
And that's how we are where we are.